Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to first thank one of my subscribers, Beverly Pierce, for this story. Now, I did a video about a year ago, and right after Roe v. Wade was overturned, vasectomies were going through the roof in the country, and people were inquiring about it heavily on social media. Well, it has skyrocketed even more to the point where they're in fear of the US population taking a big plunge again. So, what's really going on? Well, there are so many vasectomies going on in the country right now. They are calling it a vasectomy revolution and threats to plunge America into a population crisis. See, this was unexpected. They never thought something like this would occur after overturning Roe v. Wade. I knew they were probably anticipating backlash, but not like this. I think this has caught them off guard completely. So, across the country, more and more men are choosing to have the operation because they no longer have a backup option. Within the first 48 hours of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, our clinic saw a 300% increase in traffic on our website. Then we had a 100% increase in the number of vasectomies that we do in the clinic. This is according to one doctor. The full force of the boom lasted 4 months, but even today, the clinic's vasectomy procedure numbers are still up by 50% on levels seen before Supreme Court Roe v. Wade's decision. So, if maintained, this surge is likely to have a long term consequence and not just for men. It will further exacerbate the decline in the US birth rate is already putting a long-term growth at risk in the world's largest economy. The birth rate has fallen pretty dramatically since 2008. This is according to Allison Jermill, uh, demographer for John Hopkins University. Women are having children at older ages. We expect this decline because of the Great Recession, because when the economy is bad, people don't have children. But when the economy got better, the birth rate kept declining. So they were anticipating, in fact, I remember 2008, because so many people were out of work, more people were at home, they thought it was going to be a boom, and it ended up being a bust. It was no boom at all. And y'all remember, even during the lockdown, they said, oh, it'll probably be a whole bunch of lockdown babies born. That didn't happen either. It didn't happen. You know why it didn't happen, y'all? Because the problem is biological. That's why. And they still to this day won't admit that it is a biological problem. You know, barrenness in the Bible is a curse. And if your group is not producing, that curse is on you. That's a judgment on you. Barrenness don't make you strong. That makes you weak. And to this day, I have yet to see any of them really truly admit it is biological, y'all. It's a curse. So, since the pandemic, it seems like there is something different that is changing people's idea about having children. That's not necessarily true. You know, when I was doing the low birth rate stories, there were a lot of people that were saying they were not interested in having children. they were already struggling enough taking care of themselves. And, they just saw children as a bigger financial burden and stress, and they didn't want it. So it's not just linked to the traditional indicators of whether the economy is doing good or bad. It also operates, this doctor, Garin, also operates a mobile clinic, a big box with sperm printed across itself, and a big sign on the back that says hunk if you had your vasectomy. So each month in this mobile clinic that he drives around in, it goes about 700 miles around the state of Iowa. In November, he drove to a series of Planned Parenthood centers between Iowa and Missouri, locations that previously carried out the A word and conducted free vasectomies. And they had been relying on contraceptives. So the men are literally coming in and telling this doctor they can't rely on the fact that their partner will get the A word. So they want to come in and get the vasectomy. So I guess they're afraid their girlfriend or whoever they're with is not going to get rid of their pregnancy. As yet, there is no official data, but widespread anecdotal evidence show that American men are racing to get vasectomies. All right, so they're saying in the week of May 2022, the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, Google Trend data shows that they had a lot of searches for vasectomies in the US. It surged 115% that week. In the week when the decision was formally announced, they said it jumped up by 285%. It is clear that demand has been maintained. Searches of April of this year is still up 25%. And this is before pre-pandemic levels. So, for research paper, the International Journal of Impotence, a group of urologists at the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio tracked vasectomies, procedures, billing data from 2018 to this year. And they're saying the large Midwest healthcare organization, which encompass 13 community hospitals across urban and rural areas, the number of vasectomy procedures jumped when Roe v. Wade decision was leaked. Then it rocketed after it was formally announced. By August of 2022, the healthcare organization was doing 218 procedures a month. That was more than double the figure they were doing back in 2018. Now, another thing that has dramatically changed is the age of these men that are getting vasectomies. Previously, men getting a vasectomy were older, and they were the kind of men that already had children. Today, those getting the snip are much younger, and many of them are childless. So they are finding that younger men, especially those under the age of 30, as well as childless men, were significantly more likely to seek consultation prior to getting the procedure. The findings indicate that men are invested in maintaining reproductive autonomy for themselves and their partners. So it just sounds to me they don't want to be forced into having a child in a relationship. They don't want that. They would rather have no children at all. And actually, vasectomies fell from age 38 down to 35. Nearly a quarter were under the age of 30, compared to 1 in 10 in 2021. And they're also finding many of these men are not married that are getting these vasectomies, and they don't already have children and don't want them. So, yeah, well, that's not going to boost the population in America if this is rising. And that seems to be the case. So, the surge in vasectomy threatens to deepen the wider slump in America's birth rate. Wow. My, have things changed. I think this is really took them, like I told y'all, by surprise. I think they were expecting the backlash, especially from the women, and they did get that. But I don't think they believe something like this would happen among the men. So now it looks like they don't even know what to do. You know, the purpose of reversing Roe v. Wade was to, in a sense, force these women out here that weren't having babies to have them. But if you have the men doing this, then it kind of makes the whole thing counterproductive. At least I think so. Y'all, please tell me what you think. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. And they're even talking in here that they brought back a procedure called a no scalpel vasectomy. Now, I don't know if they are using this or not, but I'm sure that'll encourage more men to get one, especially if they don't have to be cut. So, y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. Mm-mm-mm. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.